Hey guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Of course I'm back. I'm not going anywhere. Beast! Peekaboo, I see you because I'm YouTube famous now. Available summer 2025, the year of the pool, the album, Dad, Rock on Gold Dust. Woman. Boost. That was pretty good. I don't know that I'm done singing yet. I don't know that I'm done. Players only love you when they're playing. Rhiannon rings like a bell through the night. And wouldn't you love to love her? I went to a party last Saturday night. I didn't get laid. I got in a fight. Kiss me once. Come on, pretty baby, kiss me deadly. That's great, it starts with an earthquake, birds and snakes and airplanes. Lenny Bruce is not afraid. Eye of the hurricane, listen to yourself, turn world, chick phone, it's the end of the world as we know it, and I feel Gucci, Louis, Fendi, Prada. Yo, Janet, I'm about to get this. You want this, but do you really think that you can get this? At first you dissed this, now you want to kiss this. Tell them, girls. Vogue, too late you missed this. Because we need a man, not in our DMs like Jeffree Star, because we need a man that's swift, quick, and clever, ready at the drop of a dime to do whatever, not trying to front or fake to save face, because I'm with that day, anytime, any place. Tell him, Jay, you want this? That was a little mega mix today, wasn't it? Oh my God. Okay, so how y'all doing today? It has been a busy day. It has been a busy day today at the House of Drama Phone, okay? At the House of Drama over here, where I spend my time trying to ruin other people's careers and take people down based on my obsession and jealousy of these influencers that I will never meet. While I'm sitting here just on my front porch, just concocting schemes. This is what my day has looked like. Now, I had to pause on my jealousy for a second. I had to pause on my jealousy for a second. Obsessing and trying to ruin careers online with my 5,000 views of video. With my 5,000 views of video, I had to stop my jealousy and my obsession of trying to ruin people's careers. I was on the front porch, okay, just imagine it, Indianapolis, Indiana, the north suburbs, condo neighborhood, 55 and older, most of the people in here about 80. And I was sitting on my front porch today and I was like, drinking my coffee, you know, as I do my prayers and meditations. And I was thinking, whose life can I ruin today? Whose career can I ruin today? Because the other day, you know, people accused me of trying to ruin Toddy Westbrook's career. I'm intent on trying to ruin Toddy Westbrook's career. Anyway, so I was sitting on the front porch today, you know, and I was thinking as I was like, you know, watching my neighbor across the street, the gardener. So if you don't watch my vlogs, all of my neighbors have little nicknames, okay? Like, so across the street, it's the gardener, and then her husband's the griller, because he always grills out. And then next to them is pool crew lady number 1 and her husband. And then next to them is pool crew lady number 2, okay, and her husband. And then next to me, well, and then my pool friend, she's next door. And then on my other side is the world travelers, because they're always traveling, but they're not traveling right now. So anyway, I was sitting on my front porch. Let me adjust my camera here for a second before it falls. I was sitting on my front porch drinking my morning coffee as I do. And I just did my prayers and meditations and my gratitude list and things like that. And I was sitting there and I was watching, you know, my neighbor, and she was out there, you know, she was like talking to me, and I was asking her like what she was planting, and she's got this big yellow rose bush out by her mailbox. And I was telling her how pretty it looks and stuff like that. And she was telling me she likes the pink ones better and all this kind of stuff that are behind it. And so anyway, we were talking. I said, I can't see it because your rose bush is so high, you know, and things like that. Probably something Jeffree Star hears. Well, he probably don't really hear that his bush is so big, you know. But anyway, so I was sitting there, you know, I was talking to my neighbor about her rose bushes and things like that, and what she had planned for her garden, because over on my Peter Does Stuff channel, we do a garden tour every summer. I take my camera over there and, and I was sitting there thinking, oh, I don't know what to do. And then I got a package in the mail. And the package was these socks that I ordered. I was so excited. I ordered these socks and they came today. So I was like, oh, well, there's my Peter Does Stuff video. And then, last night I watched Polly Family and I took my notes. And so I was thinking about all this today while I was talking to my neighbor about her flowers and her bushes and things like that. And I was just thinking, how can I just ruin somebody's career today, as I was watching the birds and my bird feeder. And I thought, I probably need to feed my birds. And so I fed the birds. And as I was feeding the birds, then our landscaper came up and I hired this landscaper that did my neighbor next door and did my neighbor across the street. He's going to come out here. He's going to mulch and weed and do everything out there and make it look real pretty. But I couldn't even talk to him, and I couldn't even focus on the bird feeders because I was just so obsessed on having to ruin somebody's career. I was like, today, fuck the birds, fuck the landscaping, fuck, everything else. Whose career could I ruin today with my 3,000 views? You know what I mean? So anyway, I was just thinking out there, I was like, I could probably try to ruin Jeffree Star's career today. Oh, he's doing it on his own. He don't need my help. Okay. I don't know what is going on with this tripod, but it just keeps on sliding to the right. We shimmy to the left and we shimmy to the right. So anyway, I was like, you know what? I could probably ruin Jeffree Star's career today. Now, I'm going to show you a clip here. I got it all queued up. Baby, listen, we got the receipts with me today. We got the receipts. The only thing we do not have in this video is the Lonely Doll book, and I almost brought it up. Okay, but I got the receipts right here where Jeffree Star, now here he is asking, he says on here, he's tapping his tongue. He's like, okay, and it says, enter only if you're 6'3" tall and up, okay, is what he says here. I'm playing the clip for you in just a second. Listen, Linda, I took the clip and I even edited it and everything, okay, I have it all ready for you. So I was watching it, and then the next clip, he says that he got, since he posted that, he posted it yesterday, and then like 10 hours later, he goes, I got thousands of DMs. That's interesting, because I got thousands of DMs too. Well, maybe not thousands, okay? He said he got thousands of DMs from men that wanted to be with him, but they weren't 6'3". And he said we're going to play the clip for you in a second about what he says, okay? But anyway, I was thinking, that is so interesting, because I got a lot of DMs today, too, about how cringe you are, Jeffree Star, okay? About how cringe you are and that you think you're a sex symbol. Listen, Linda, all of us, I think, in life, like, you should dream. I'm a big believer in dreaming, Dream big, and when you reach your dreams, dream a bigger dream, okay? I just don't know that if Jeffree Star, who has been, a music mogul, he claims, and at the top of the makeup game, he claims, and, this billionaire and all this kind of stuff, I think he has the biggest, or had at one time, the biggest collection of Birkins and all this kind of stuff. I mean, listen, people come all the time and get mad at me. They're like, you do so many hauls. Grocery store hauls. Okay, baby. Trader Joe's hauls. Okay, it's not like I'm spending $100,000 on a crocodile Birkin bag. Okay, let's just keep it real for a second. People get bent out of shape that I do grocery store hauls. Okay? I'm literally going to the grocery store and just showing you what I bought to eat for the week. Okay, it's just not that deep. I go down to the pool and I showed that was yesterday. We went to the pool and I stepped in the pool and it's cold. It's cold, but I could have got in it yesterday. I was thinking about doing my polar plunge yesterday. So anyway, but Jeffree Star, he's sitting there. I got all these messages from people today sending me this clip, and they were like, Jeffree Star is so cringe, like that he thinks that people care about this. Well, I agree with you, but it is interesting to me, that Jeffree Star says that he gets thousands, he woke up to thousands of DMs. Jaclyn Hill says the same thing, okay? Jaclyn Hill, whenever she wants to promote something, she says, oh my God, thousands of people. First of all, this is my question, okay? And I'm going to be straight up honest with you. I probably wake up to, okay, I'm just going to keep this real. Every day, so the only place that I'm active is on Instagram, okay? So if you want to get in touch with me, Peter Monn on Instagram. Or my Peter Watches TV channel. I started a new Instagram, Peter Watches TV. One of those two. But Peter Monn's usually where people contact me, okay? That's my name. Don't wear it out. So anyway, but what's interesting to me is, okay, let's just be for real. Like, I am on a much lower level than Jeffree Star. I think we're fully aware of that, right? Because that's then where, like, if I criticize them, then the jealousy bit comes in, it's like, okay, because I'm jealous of Jeffree Star because I have to beg... I have to beg for people and show them that my mouth is so good that they're dipping into my DMs because I can't meet somebody in real life, I guess, is what he said. I don't know. But anyway, So, I mean, I've been married for 17 years. So, I guess my mouth is keeping my man around. I don't know, okay? Jeffree Star can't keep a man to save his life. If his mouth was that fine, baby, okay? I mean, you'd think maybe he could keep a man. I'm just saying, okay? It's not always about getting the man, it's about keeping the man, all right? So, the fact that you can't keep a man is kind of more the problem, or the fact that you make up men that you're with. Because I was going through my receipts today, and what was interesting, because I was like, now I know that Jeffree Star came out and said that he was starting like an OnlyFans or like a sex site or something like that. I knew he did, okay? So I was like, it was in December that he said it. So, and he said it before that, but December is my clip. I think it was December 3rd. So I was like, let me go in here and just look at some of these Jeffree Star clips. Because baby, I don't throw away nothing, okay? My phone is filled with Jeffree Star clips. I got a clip of him saying, that's why you should never believe any rumor online. And then I have another clip of him saying, the rumors are true. I mean, it's like everything he says, he contradicts himself. So I'm looking through these clips, and I got clips of him from a couple years ago when he was dating that guy that was like the farm team second ring basketball player. Okay, baby, I'm from Indianapolis, okay? It's Pacers all the way. Let me just tell you right now, okay? It is Pacer. People are going crazy tonight about the Pacers, okay? Listen, Jeffree Star don't know an NBA player if it bit him on the ass. I don't think he's ever met an NBA player other than maybe somebody that wanted to do a collab with him or something like that. And I'm not talking about no OnlyFans collab, okay? No NBA player is dipping into Jeffree Star's DMs. It's so pathetic at this point. I would respect the man more if he would just like stop with all this nonsense. It's really, to be honest with you, it's really sad. I mean, he always acts like I'm so confident and everybody wants me. But the fact that you have to make up a lie that thousands... First of all, let's just put this in perspective, okay? He puts up a thing, okay, on his Instagram. And the Instagram is, if you're 6'3" and taller, apply so that I can suck your dick, is basically what he's saying, okay? And then he gets thousands of DMs. Okay, that many men are looking at Jeffree Star's Instagram stories to see if he's begging for them to dip in his DMs, number one. Number two, Jeffree Star is on a, well, we'll get to the pathetic part in a second. Here's what's pathetic about it to me, okay, is that you come across as so confident, and this is what you want people to believe in you, okay, that you are such a sex siren, that you are just oozing sexuality, and that people are wanting to fuck you all the time, okay, that people are wanting you to give them head all the time. Listen, if Jeffree Star, and people get real bent out of shape when I use these words and say these things in the video and all this kind of stuff. Jeffree Star is he's in an Instagram story, and he's been in TikToks talking about his mouth working overtime, and how people want him to give lessons on how to give head and all this kind of stuff. If he's going to say it, I can address it, okay? Let's just be for real. You know, I'm 52 years old, and I have been around, okay? I have been around, so I can talk about these things, all right? But if that were really true, like, I always have found that the people that brag about it the most are the ones that are getting it the least. I think that's just the truth, okay? In my 52 years, that's what I found, okay? It's like the guy with the biggest pickup truck's got the smallest dick. And it's just the truth, you know what I'm saying? So, and hey, listen, listen, ladies, we know, okay? The one with the biggest cowboy boots walking into the bar is the one with the smallest dick. Let's just call it for what it is, okay? Let's just call it for what it is. The silent guy over there, okay, the one that's real humble, baby, he's packing. We know that, okay? We know that today. So anyway, so Jeffree Star wants to come out and act like, what? First of all, if you are getting it, and you are getting it so good, and you are giving it so good, okay, and your shit does not stink, and you cannot listen, you are keeping so many men happy that you have to turn people away. Why are you talking about it on an Instagram story to me? And you're then talking about how people are dipping into your DMs and they're not 6'3", and you say 6'3" and over. Like, you'll only give head to somebody that's 6'3" and over, okay? So what's interesting to me about that is that then that's an open invitation. If you're 6'3" and over, I'll suck your dick, is basically what he's saying, okay? Are you that desperate that you need some strange... I thought we tried this with Nathan Schwann. That didn't work out for you very well, okay? That didn't work out for you very well. You know, I was actually, before I got in this video, the first thing I wanted to say was, let's see how long I can turn a 16-second clip into talking about Jeffree Star today. Because the clip is literally 16 seconds. I was like, let's see how long I can talk about it. Okay, so I think it's rather pathetic, number one. Number two, I think it's untrue, okay? Because if you're really getting it that good, and you're really sleeping with that many men, and that many men are dipping into your DMs, you wouldn't be talking about it from the rooftop. You'd just be doing it. You'd just be happy that you're doing it, and you wouldn't need to be telling everybody. The fact that you need to convince somebody of it means there's no truth to it whatsoever, okay? Like, that to me is kind of a sad sentiment, honestly, for Jeffree Star. That he's laying in bed, tapping his tongue, like, well, why are you laying in bed filming yourself on an Instagram story talking about how good you give head. Why aren't you giving head right now? That's my question to you, okay? But what's interesting to me about this, okay, is that Jeffree Star has what? 16 million people on YouTube, 30 million people or something like that on TikTok, I don't know, 100 million people across the board probably, something like that, gets tons and tons of views. And he has time, okay, when people say this, like Jaclyn Hill says, I got 1,000 DMs. When Jeffree Star says, I got 1,000 DMs of people that said they weren't 6'3", how do you know? That's my question, okay? How do you have enough time to read 1,000 DMs? Okay, first of all, you're on TikTok 5 hours a day. You run a makeup company, okay? What do you have time? Like when James Charles says that, I'm like, seriously, how much time do you spend in your DMs? Now, let me explain this to you, okay? I have, I don't know, 220,000. I don't even know how many subscribers I have on this channel, okay? I got my vlog channel. I got, whatever. I am not anywhere on the level of these people. When I wake up in the morning, I'm being really fair. I probably wake up every day on Instagram to 40 to 100 Instagram DMs, okay? And I will say probably 10 of them are rescue animals. People sending me little things of rescue animals, okay? Probably another 10 is that TikTok of that guy carrying that huge fern outside, and people tell me that that's going to be my fernalicious, okay? I've gotten that from so many people. Another 10 is that bird charcuterie board TikTok that everybody keeps on sending me, where it's they put out that charcuterie board for the birds and the birds come and eat it, and everybody thinks I should do that because I love the birds, right? So that's about 30 of them, okay? Then another 10 of them are probably real personal, and I'll be honest with you, like, sometimes I say LOL. I try to do the best I can to get back to people. I just, sometimes people message me all throughout the day, and I just can't keep up with it, in all honesty, I can't, I can't even text my friends like that, let alone to just, like, keep up with it. But it's nice that people direct message me like that, okay? So then another 10 is probably people asking me real personal stuff. People asking me about sobriety. People asking me about something I said in a video. Somebody asking me, like, oh, something about this. Somebody was asking me this. I got one about somebody asking me about, they wanted to, like, know how to disclose appropriately for something to do with, like, a YouTube short or something like that. And so, I was like, those are the kind of questions that I get, right? Listen. I get up, and that's when I'm done my prayers and my meditations, while I'm sitting there plotting to ruin somebody's career, I read about 30 to 40 of the DMs. If you've DM'd me, you'll know, okay? I usually always read it. And sometimes I leave them unread, and I'll be honest with you, because I just cannot respond to every person. It would take me hours, okay? And that's 30 to 100 that I receive every morning. Throughout the day, I probably get another 30 to 100, okay? So there's no way that I could respond to everybody. I think it's so nice that people reach out to me. People send, people send me show recommendations, movie recommendations all the time. People just send me the nicest stuff all the time. I love it, right? And I try to get back to as many people as I can, but there's no way, okay? That's a lot. So explain to me how Jeffree Star is even opening 1,000 DMs to even see what those people are saying, because I can tell you right now, I can't even get to 100 DMs just to open them and see if they sent me a TikTok to see that somebody would say to him, well, I'm not 6'3". How do you know how many DMs you got? First of all, it doesn't say you have 1,000 new DMs, okay? It doesn't say that at all. And it's also separated into requests and people that you've already talked to. So you're talking about all your requests under there? Well, if you've ever gone into your DMs, if you're somebody that gets a lot of DMs like I do, okay, the requests, when it gets to the bottom of it, you have to refresh it. And it takes time to refresh it. So if you're going to refresh 100 new, DMs from people, that would probably take you a good 10 minutes. So you're telling me that just to refresh the DMs, he's taking an hour to do that? Fuck that bullshit. Jeffree Star is a liar, okay? And what's sad about it is that you're lying about the fact that so many men are reaching out to you in DMs on Instagram, but you're so good at giving head. You're such a sexual siren. Everybody wants to fuck you, okay? Why are you even in your DMs then? You would think that you would be so highly requested that people would want you. I mean, why would you wouldn't have no need to even respond or even open your DMs to those. You wouldn't even need to put that out there because you wouldn't be able to keep, listen, your bed would be full all the time, right? If that were true. If that were the case, you wouldn't be able to, listen, to me, it's baffling. But what I did get a lot of today was, and last night, was this clip. And people were like, is he for real? This is so cringe. What is Jeffree Star doing? And a lot of people were like, didn't Jeffree Star say that he was starting some sex site? Okay? So I got it all queued up for you real quick here. And I'm going to play this little clip for you. It's literally 16 seconds. So let me show you what you're about to look at. First of all, I recorded this last night on my phone while I was sitting outside, okay, and the birds were chirping. So in the back of it, because that's what I do when I'm trying to ruin people's careers, is that I watch the birds. And so in the background, you can hear the birds chirping for the first part of it, okay? So the first part of it is this right here. And it's Jeffree Star laying in bed, and he's tapping his tongue. And he says, enter only if you're 6'3" tall and up, okay? So apparently he only wants a man that's 6'3" and taller. And then the next part of it is him talking like hours later that so many people reached out to him as DMs, but they're not 6'3", okay? And that he's only gonna fuck people that are 6'3", is what he says. So y'all ready to hear this clip? I'll play it for you more than once, but hold on, here we go.
Okay, listen, I woke up to thousands of men in my DMs. Oh my god, I'm only 6 foot. Deleted, deleted, deleted. 6'3" and up to enter this. Okay? This isn't an amusement park. This is a private ride. Okay?
Key.
Listen,
well, first of all,
to thousands of men in my DMs. Oh my god, I'm only 6 foot. Deleted, deleted, deleted. 6'3" and up to enter this. Okay? This isn't an amusement park. This is a private ride.
Listen to the first part again. Listen to the first.
Listen, I woke up to thousands of men
this
in
part.
my DMs.
Saying what?
Oh my god, I'm only 6 foot. Deleted.
Okay,
deleted,
first of all,
deleted.
does Jeffree Star seem like the kind of guy? Come on, light. Come on, light. There is a God. Does Jeffree Star seem like the kind of guy that would be interested in any dude that said to him in person, on the phone, in a DM, via Telegram, skywriting, oh my god, I'm only 6 foot. Does that seem like the kind of temperament that Jeffree Star would be attracted to? Okay? That anybody that would say to him, oh my god, I'm only 6 foot. That does not seem like anything that anybody would be, that Jeffree Star would be attracted to. Okay, first of all. So the fact that 1,000 people, okay, let's just even be fair and say 100, let's say 100 people, okay, that 100 men all said to Jeffree Star in the matter of hours, oh my god, I'm only 6 foot. 100 men all said that, okay? Listen, baby, Family Feud takes a poll of 100 men and 100 women every day for their show, and they can't even get them to say the same thing. So are you telling me that the Family Feud, the jokester of your fucking DMs, every man is saying the same thing? That every man is 5'2"? Baby, give me a fucking break, okay? This is embarrassing. But I'll tell you what's interesting to me about this, okay, is what I realized was Jeffree Star still watches James Charles very, very closely, okay? Very, very closely. Let me play this for you again, and I'm going to show you I want to show you this part right here, which is very similar to something that James Charles said about a month and a half ago. So here you go.
Deleted, deleted, deleted. 6'3" and up to enter this. Okay? Oh my god, I'm only 6 foot. Deleted, deleted, deleted. 6'3" and up to enter this.
Okay, so James Charles, about a month and a half ago, he came out and he said that he was looking for redheaded models, okay? And he did an Instagram story, probably put it on TikTok too, I don't know. And he's like pissed at the camera. And he's like, I said redheaded models, and I'm not flying you out. This was before the whole Kayla Malik scandal came out. And he goes, and I'm not flying you out. You have to live in LA and you have to be redheaded. What is so hard about this? It's very, very similar. He said something about delete in there as well. I was like, this is so eerily similar to what James Charles said in his story that he came out looking for models for his ad campaign. I was like, Jeffree Star watches him so close. Number one. Number two, Jeffree Star, it is this weekend is June 1st, okay? Sunday is June 1st. Where is the sex site? I cannot play the clip for you because it has music in the background of it, okay? And YouTube doesn't like when you play all the music. I tried to include this Jeffree Star clip a while ago. I had to end up deleting the whole clip. I thought it was my Michaela and Jeffree Star talking about Michaela's skincare line. I thought it was Michaela saying that, so I clipped that out, whatever. And took the music out of it, it was Jeffree Star, because on his TikTok lives, he always has a lot of music playing in the background. So you can't play it, okay? But it's from December 3rd is when it is. And Jeffree Star in there is talking about how he's getting ready to do his makeup. And in there, he's talking about he's getting ready to do something very spicy on camera, not on TikTok, on a spicier site. And he says, for a new website. And he says, not TikTok, a new website coming next year is what he says, okay? And that this is where Jeffree Star, like, people are going, Jeffree Star's not a liar. Jeffree Star is 100% a liar, okay? And he says this whole thing about, and this is why this is important. This is also the time when I went back and looked that he was hanging out with the guy in Nashville that he kept on feeding out like they were dating, but they were really never dating, okay? Nothing ever came out about that. Just like the guy that was the football player that Jeffree Star said that he was dating this NFL player. He took a picture of him in his bathroom with a mirror to find out that he wasn't really fucking him. The guy was doing a podcast with him. But he used the whole idea of him fucking this guy. Jeffree Star, I don't understand what it is. Like, Jeffree Star's ability to come up with, I think, different concepts for makeup, and Jeffree Star's love. I mean, when I used to cover Jeffree Star, people loved his ability to use a lot of color in makeup. I think that back in the day, his being so different, I think was really like a big point for him, big selling point. I think that his, trend setting in the past, as far as like his Jeffree Star approved videos of like makeup reviews and things like that, were really telling. None of that is about anybody wanting to hear Jeffree Star be a sex symbol. And I think that's kind of where he misses it a little bit. And in all honesty, I have to wonder, because, I mean, I've had a lot of Jeffree Star people comment on my videos through the years, okay? And a lot of the people that watch Jeffree Star or have been diehard fans of Jeffree Star's for years and years and years are women that are now probably 30 to 50 years old, okay? Now listen, I know what my audience is, and that's about my audience as well. I would say my audience is about 30 to 60, the average audience, okay? I don't think that my audience is really that interested in my sex life, okay, or seeing me naked. I just really don't think they are. So for me, it's kind of like, Jeffree, do you not like read the room? Like, you're such a great businessman, supposedly, okay? You're such a genius when it comes to marketing. Do you realize that the majority of people that are buying your makeup or buying your products probably really, are not interested? I mean, if you went to go get a makeover, let's just put this in perspective, okay? Let's say you're going to get a makeover and you go to Sephora or you go to the MAC counter, okay? And the entire time that you're getting your makeup done, the person is telling you about the cock they sucked last night and how good a head they can give, and that they should give lessons of giving head. Is that a marketing skill that you want to hear when you're talking to somebody about makeup? That it's not edgy, okay? It's pathetic, it's embarrassing, and it's crude is really what it is, okay? I mean, there's a lot of people that could probably get away with that, because there are people that people do want to hear that from. Jeffree Star is not somebody that I think that his audience really, I don't know who he is pandering to in this moment. I mean, like, I don't understand who is his audience. Like, this is what all these things he puts out there are business, marketing. His life is his business. What I don't understand about it is, okay, is that if you're telling this story, who are you telling this story to? Who is it you think that would care, okay? And the only thing, the people that I think would care are either guys that are on the DL, okay, that Jeffree Star is wanting to sleep with, or people that are intrigued with the sexual life of Jeffree Star. But I think people are way past that at this point. People were interested in the romantic life of Jeffree Star. People really were interested in him being with Nathan Schwandt and them developing a life together. But I think he mistakes that for people being interested in the sexual life of Jeffree Star. I really don't think people are that interested in how great a head he gives, And I've said this before and I'll say it again, it's not really that tough, okay? Like, I don't know that on my list of resumes that on one of my last days here, I don't know that if I had a list the 100 greatest things I've ever done in my life, that my ability to give great head would be on the top of that list. I think it's rather embarrassing, in all honesty, okay? And I think I don't know. It just, for me, it's just such a weird vibe. And I'm not a prude at all. I'm not a prude at all, okay? And I think there are people that we would want to hear that from, or we would be interested in hearing that from. But Jeffree Star's not that person to his audience, okay? And maybe I'm wrong. If you are a Jeffree Star super fan and you love to hear him talk about sucking dick, please let me know in the comment section below. I would love to hear the super fan that says, I am a 45-year-old woman. I have 4 kids. I love his makeup, and I love to hear Jeffree Star talking about sucking dick all day long, okay? Because here's the thing, right? Like, once or twice, it's kind of funny. 3 or 4 times, it's kind of edgy. 5 or 6 times, it's like, okay, enough. 10 or 12 times, it's like, what are you doing here? Like, why are you continuing to push this? This is going to stop in a second. Hold on. Okay. I turned a 16-second clip into all this. The other thing is, I don't understand why there's this always need to sexualize his content. I don't really know who it's for. Like, I don't understand it. Like, from a marketing point of view, I don't get it. I don't understand it. You know, and it makes me kind of think about, like, all of his marketing campaigns. His marketing campaigns are very interesting to me because it's Jeffree Star, and it's typically with a lot of men around him. Now, in the past, things that people have been critical of, myself included, is that it seems very performative. He always has, you know, like, every different ethnic background in his things. But one of the things that's interesting to me is that the majority of the people that are in his what do you call it, his ads and his things like that for his makeup releases, it's mostly men when you look back. I mean, I could pull up his thing right now, like his skincare. His skincare is literally him with all these cowboys around him and all these men and stuff like that. You would think that maybe, like, I don't know, look at who your audience is that you're selling to, okay? Unless you're thinking that your ad is, you're going to have great skin, and then you can get a cowboy like this that I guess you can suck their dick all day long like I do. I don't know. Like, I don't really understand it, honestly. I don't understand where his concept comes up from. I think this is the thing. I think that, you know, Jeffree Star's music at the time was cutting edge, keyboard, MySpace music. He was like the first to do that. So that's kind of what got him fame and got him in the Warped Tour. Then he came over to YouTube and he started reviewing makeup, and he did the 3 liquid lip liners, and it was genius at that time, right? Or liquid lipsticks, and it was genius at that time. And then it's like he built this whole kind of career on being edgy and being different. But that was 10 years ago. That was 15 years ago. That's not, that's not what people are really into today, at least from what I can see. And I think that's probably hurting his career more than anything, you know? When you talk about marketing, you talk about whether it's like a writer or an artist or a TikToker or whatever, you want to build the world, you want people interested in that world of you, okay? I think people would be more interested in Jeffree Star if he showed himself going to fashion shows, because that's what he's known for, right? His love of fashion in the past. Or, I don't know, him speed dating and trying to date some guys. That could be a YouTube video he could do, you know? Or maybe him, like, going on a trip with his friends or taking some of the people that he loves on a trip. I think people would be more interested in that, especially his age has aged out. I mean, the man's almost 40 years old, and that's not old by any means. But I don't think that the average 40-year-old is wanting to see somebody TikTok live all day long and lay in bed talking about what great head they give. I mean, that's kind of more of like a younger mentality. So I don't know that he's aged with his audience so much. And I have to believe it's kind of hurting his business to some degree, you know? And then to come out and say that he's starting, this is where, I don't know if he just pulls this stuff out of his ass and says it and he doesn't think anybody's going to hold him accountable for it. But he literally had these guys behind him. I mean, after he did his makeup and said he was going to do the sex site, the spicy site is what he said. Which, even if it's not a sex site, there is no new website, okay? He says, a new website coming next year. There is no new website. There's no book website. There's no autobiography that he said 3 or 4 years ago he was coming out with the autobiography. He said he had all new music he was coming out with. He had 1 new track, and the rest were mixes on a keyboard, okay? I mean, that country version of whatever Beauty Killer was embarrassing. I mean, it really was. Like, I listened to it and I was like, oh, Jeffree, this is so cringe. Like, I mean, I almost kind of felt bad for him, honestly. I was like, I think you would be better off to not release this than to, I mean, did you hurry it up really quick to release it with the palette because you had to by the 10, I don't know. It's like you spent so much time in Nashville, but then you filmed it and it says, or you recorded it, it says on the album, recorded in Wyoming. So you recorded it in your garage in Wyoming. Not in Nashville, but you said you spent all this time in Nashville doing this music. Where's the music? There's no new music with any new artists. You said that was coming. There's no autobiography. Okay, and now you're saying, as of 6 months ago, that there was a spicy sex site coming out. which you said not TikTok, so people speculated, I speculated, that it was OnlyFans, or maybe you were starting your own sex site, and there's not even that. And where you spend your time all day long on TikTok lives and laying in bed putting out stories that aren't even real. And people want to know why I think that Jeffree Star is pathetic. I think he's pathetic, and I think he's cringe. And it makes me really, really sad, because there are so many people in this world, a lot of them customers of Jeffree Star, lovers of Jeffree Star, fans of Jeffree Star, that if they even had a 10th of his money or a 100th of his money, okay, that they could let go of a job. I mean, his audience are people that are standing on their feet all day long in service positions, you know, waiting tables, working in fast food restaurants, working in retail, you know, working in factories and warehouses, and driving Ubers and, you know, delivery trucks all over, you know, taking care of 2 and 3 kids all day long, teachers, you know, all these people out there that are busting their ass just to put food on the table and pay their rent, because this economy is not great. And even for them, he can't even reduce the price of a pallet, you know? And I almost kind of feel like, hey, listen, do what you want to do with your life. But to have like a 5-year period where you do nothing but just get on TikTok lives and scream and yell at people and call them a bunch of pookies. I mean, I have so many clips of TikToks where he is going off on people. People say he's changed. He's gotten worse, not better. I have probably in my phone that I looked at today, 10 TikToks of him literally going off on people in his TikTok lives. So you got an almost 40-year-old man that has more money than he knows what to do with, a beautiful home, okay, and nobody to spend that time with. So he gets in TikTok lives and screams and yells at people and makes up lies about his life. It's rather sad. And I said this, go fact check it, like 2 years ago. I said, Jeffree Star, okay, to go out, like to do an autobiography, and he should have done the autobiography 2 or 3 years ago, because I can tell you right now, ain't nobody gonna be that interested in it. I'll read it, a couple other people will read it. I mean, I'm sure it'll do okay, but it's not gonna stay on the bestseller list for like 30 weeks. Let's just be for real. He didn't hit while the iron was hot. So I said a couple years ago, Jeffree Star should have gone out on an anniversary album where he remastered all of his music. I mean, the fact that the music is of such poor quality, when you can't even afford to put your own money, he's supposedly worth something like $90 million. You couldn't even put your own money into really having real musicians remaster your music for a new generation. You could have remastered all your music, slowed it down, sped it up, remixed it, had DJs remix it. He goes to Miami, goes to Nashville, he goes to all these places. You know, I mean, he could have had any DJ do that, remastered it, had remixes done of all of his best Prom Night, Beauty Killer, all these songs of his. He puts out this pathetic album, no autobiography. And I said years ago, if it were me, because he seems bored of all of it. If it were me, what I would have done was, I would have sold my business, I would have put the autobiography out and released the anniversary album at the same time and say, you know what, I'm going to do some vlogs from time to time, but I'm done, okay? I said, it will be a sad day if Jeffree Star goes out in a TikTok battle. And that is what his career has become. And it's sad. It's really sad for anybody that watched the career of Jeffree Star. I mean, to think that when I started 9 years ago almost, my very first video was about the fallout of Kat Von D and Jeffree Star. That was my very first video I ever did on my drama channel, okay? I would never have believed at that time that 9 years later, Jeffree Star's career, and I'm sure he has a lot of money. He probably would never have to work another day in his life. But then why spend it like this? If I tomorrow gave you $10 million and I said, what would you do with it? Probably many of you would build your dream home and sit with your family and friends, travel around the world, go to places you've never been before, have experiences you've never had before. You know, the fact that Jeffree Star is done at 40, I mean, he never travels anymore. He's done at 40. He's done and bored, and that's sad. I think it's kind of sad. I think it's kind of pathetic. I mean, Jeffree Star, I know you are nobody to listen to me. I know that you're not, okay? But from a different point of view, step back and look at this and say, I have worked too hard for this to be how it goes out. Like, live your life. There are a lot of people that are fighting for their life every single day, okay? For you to be sitting on an Instagram convincing people that in your late 30s with millions of dollars in the bank and you could do anything in the world that you wanted to do, that you are trying to convince people, okay, on Instagram that your best quality is that you can give incredible head and you are screaming at people on a TikTok live. It's sad and it's pathetic. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section below. I love you guys and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.